Hello, here I am again with your pleasurable viewing pile of clothing. I'm pretty sure that's all clean. I should fold that. I said I was going to make a video, vlog, after I got back from the dentist. I got a refilling, so my face is numb. But I can still smile, so it's not actually that interesting. I thought it would have been more frozen here. Normally when I get it done, it's like, I can't smile, I'm like, half smiling. But this time it's completely normal. So I stretched my septum 5 days ago. When I last updated you guys on my septum, I went from 6 gauge back to 10 because I didn't have it in for about like a week because I lost my O-ring for my pincher, and I was wearing my 6 gauge ones really quickly actually. It was because I first stretched my septum, and when I lost the O-ring, it was one of the smaller ones, so it wouldn't stay in properly, and it was a fresh stretch, so it wasn't fully like comfortable in its place. So I guess like the mucous membranes grew over the hole. I didn't actually have a spare septum either of like any sort, so I had to like find a place to buy a septum from. And I never actually ended up buying one until like near the end of my trip, but it didn't really matter anyway, because I just ended up stretching back up, and it was really easy to stretch up, so I periodically went back over the course of the past like 5 months or so. But I'm finally up to a 4 gauge, and the 6 to 4 gauge stretch was basically like the 10 to 8 gauge stretch. It wasn't very painful to me at all. I really like the size. I think it looks really good. I like the really large ones. This one doesn't look as awkward as I think it was a 10 gauge one, the black one I wore in my Rasta hair video. Sorry, I'm looking up into the corners, but it's like, oh no, I'm looking up into the corner of my mind. I've noticed people do awkward gestures when they try to think of words to flow through their mind and repeat them after they're thought of. Everybody does different things. Some people like fidget. Some people look in the corners. Oh, the words are floating everywhere. Oh, I'm gonna catch it and say it. I don't know if it actually works that way. Maybe in some people's minds, and there could be floating ducks with words that they catch mentally and then say them. I don't even know. But I just sound completely stupid right now, as usual. You guys know of me and my serious unseriousness in my vlogs. People probably just don't know half the stuff I say, if it's like serious or if I'm not serious, and most of the time I'm really not serious. But in all seriousness, I don't actually have, you guys are probably wondering if I have a goal size for my septum. I don't actually have a goal size. This was the size I wanted to see what it looked like really when I first got my septum done. And now I'm finally at the size. And I wonder what it look like larger, but it's the same way with like your ears or stretching or anything else. It's like, I wonder what it'll look like that. So then you start to stretch it there, and it's like, I could stretch it bigger. I wonder what it looks like when it's bigger. No, I like this size a lot, so I think I'm gonna keep this for a while. I don't have a retainer for it, so it'll just be this big dangly thing. It touches my top lip, and like when I smile, it goes really low. But I really enjoy it. I thought it would look awkward, but it doesn't look as awkward as the one I wore at 10 gauge in my Rasta hair video. That one was actually a captive ring, and I didn't have the proper utensils to get the ball on, so I just left it without the ball. I thought the 10 gauge ones would be easier to get on because people are generally like, oh, the 8 gauge captives are generally the jewelry you need the utensils for. The rest of them you could just use your fingers and pry them open. No. 10 gauge captives, you need utensils to get captive beads off, unless you're like got some insane finger muscles from fingering things. The use of your fingers, I guess finger muscles from typing and texting. I don't know how else. I know there's muscles in your fingers, but I don't think they're like the same as like. I don't even know where I'm going with that. That was just